Hey everyone, welcome back to Banished. We're on the last tutorial before we start fresh game from scratch. Last tutorial is trade. Learn how to trade produced goods for new crop seeds, orchard seeds, livestock, food, tools, and other resources. This is going to be really quick, and trading is really easy in this game, so hopefully we'll be able to start our brand new town from scratch in this episode. So let's see what they have to teach us. Trading posts can be used to acquire new crop seeds, fruit seeds, livestock, food, and many other items. Basically, you can trade for anything from a trading post. Once a trading post has been built, different types of merchants will periodically arrive with goods to sell. Trading post has already been built for you. Click on the trading post building to view its details. Trading post needs to be built on a river or on a lake that connects to the large river running through the town. If it isn't, merchants won't be able to get their boats to the trading post. See the basic UI here for the trading post. Before you can make a trade with a merchant, you need to stock the trading post with the goods you wish to sell, which means any resource that has been produced by the town can be traded, which means they'll probably explain it, but just real easy. You increase the number for whatever particular items you want to have stored in the trading post for trade, and the worker, I forget if it's the trading post worker or laborer, will take the supplies from your stockpile or your barn and bring it over here and basically just store it in the trading post for you. And that basically saves that item. No one will be able to use it, and it will only be able to be used for trade unless you decrease the amount over here, in which case it'll get moved back over to its storage area in the main town, and citizens will be able to use it again. Since this town has more tools and coats than it currently needs, 300 tools, wow, and 234 coats, you can stock the trading post with these. Set the desired number of hide coats to 100 using up-down arrows or typing in the box. Each click does it by 20. Next, set the number of iron tools to 120 by using up-down arrows or typing in the box. I'm not sure if the number per click is based on the item that you're putting in. Like, I believe iron, firewood. No, not firewood. Certain items, I think iron's one of them. I'm not sure. Will only go up by like 1 or 5 or 10 per click, but like hide coat and iron tool goes up by 20. I'm not sure if that's based on the item or if it's based on how much of the item you have. Trading post needs workers that will move inventory from storage barns and stockpiles into the trading post. There you go. It's the workers at the trading post that will transport the goods for you, not the laborers. So increase number of traders to 4. While the workers moving inventory to fill the trading post, you can speed up the game. Once they're at the trading post, tutorial will continue. Now that you have some inventory to trade with, click on the Trade tab to interact with the merchant. Trade tab. Remember, you'll have to click on the trading post to bring this up, and then you can switch from inventory to trade. This particular merchant is selling chickens. Once you buy livestock, you can move it into a pasture where the animals will reproduce and provide the town with food. Increase the number of chickens to buy to 6 by using the up-down arrows to type in the edit box. Here you can see the cost of the item is 400 per chicken, and he has 8. 6, right. Increase the number of iron tools and hide coats to trade until the total is enough to match the total cost of the chickens. As you can see, 6 times 400 is 2400. You must trade an additional 2400 units to complete this trade. We have 100 hide coats and 120 iron tools. The value changes depending on what merchant is currently at the trading post. He will buy iron tools for 8 value, 8 units per tool, and hide coats at 15 units per hide coat. So basically you just mess with the numbers until you get an equal number. I'm overpaying by 60 units, but it won't let me readjust because it's a tutorial. Just trade button to make the trade. You can now see the chickens you bought in the fenced area attached to the trading post. Right here, tiny little pasture, so you don't have to worry immediately about getting them into a pasture. You have some time to build it. If you have a pasture set up for chickens, they'll move into it. So you make the trade, the workers start refilling the trading post inventory. So we're completely out of iron tools and hide coats, so our workers will go back to the storage barn and the... just the storage barn. Storage barn. They'll go to the storage barn and get the iron tools and hide coats and bring them back to the trading post so that we can trade again. If you always want to buy a certain item from a merchant without interacting with the trading post, you can set up an automatic purchase. Purchase tab. Purchase mode determines if and when the traders will make a trade for you. Never when merchant arrives, when the merchant leaves. You can set the maximum number of items to purchase in several categories. Basically, anything you can buy. Meats, grains, clothes. They kind of group a few things together, like vegetables. There's lots of different kinds of vegetables in the game, but they group it into one tab, so you don't have to micromanage too much here. The traders will buy items up to this amount as long as the trading post has enough inventory to cover the cost. If you set more than one item to be automatically purchased, you can change the priority of which items to buy first by moving the categories up and down. So you can move these up and down and change it like that. Categories at the top of the list will be purchased first. So if I were to say I want to buy 10 logs and 10 stone every time a merchant shows up, they'll buy the logs first, and if I don't have enough inventory to cover the stone, then they just won't be able to buy the stone. Normally when a merchant comes to trade, they'll have a random assortment of goods. Rather than relying on chance to acquire the items you want, you can place custom orders with merchants. Click on the Orders tab to learn how. The order mode determines if an order is being placed or if it is a recurring order. Custom order from the current trader that we have. We can never, just once or every visit, have him bring in these certain things that we want. The available items a merchant can bring will be displayed. To place an order, click and highlight the items you want the merchant to bring during their next visit. So you can only do this when there's an actual merchant docked at your trade post. Merchants have limited space in their boats, so if you order too many items at once, they may not bring them all. Items brought from a custom order will cost more than normal. Trades can be a great way to acquire items that the town is lacking or can't yet produce. And that's the end of it. You actually need a trading post if you're doing a certain game mode where, I'm not sure if it's normal or if it's hard game mode, where you actually don't start with any seeds. So the only way to acquire seeds at that point is to build a trading post and have a merchant come in that sells seeds to be able to buy them to be able to start doing crops, which is a much more reliable source of food than herbs and hunting and fishing, because it's every harvest season you acquire food, whereas here you can like overfish and as you progress you'll get less food from each source. Same goes for farming too, but it takes a little bit longer, I think, and you can always dismantle the farm, build something over it, and then rebuild a farm somewhere else. And that's the end of our tutorial series. I kind of want to, thinking it over, I want to keep this as just the tutorial video that I can have grouped with the other two videos I did for the tutorial, have a little playlist for it. So I'm going to call it here, but I will be doing another video or two very soon for Banished, starting our new town. You get to name it and everything, not sure what we'll do yet, probably just go with a random name or something, I don't know. But we'll get to that when we get to it, and thank you for watching. If you liked the video, the tutorials, leave a like, sub if you haven't, and catch you on the flip side.